Hello everyone, welcome back to Bionicle Transformers after a very short rest period. And I'm here to introduce to you Blodregon. So, there was actually an older Blodregon that I made that was supposed to be the original 4 Bionicle Transformers. I had Ravenhide, Racetrack, Synthwave, and Blodregon. Except that was the old Blodregon. But then I realized it probably wouldn't make a great video, and the actual Transformer was so flimsy, could barely get it to stand up, and it was super flimsy in both modes. So I really didn't like it very much. So I ended up taking it apart for scraps. But anyway, a while later, I decided to remake it, except make it a bit more sturdy this time. And I think in many ways I did accomplish that. This is the new Blodregon. And for the previous video, do not worry, all the other Transformers are still intact. I don't even think I have the heart to break them. Which is a big problem because I'm running out of parts, but hey, I still got a couple more videos coming, so it'll be alright. So starting off right at the bat, the head of this robot mode, which is what I started when building it, is really articulative because it can chomp and it can move his head side to side, which, there are those little pegs there preventing it from going all the way, but I still think it looks and works really good. So I started with the fish head, which is actually the robot body, and then I made the fish body the arms and legs of the robot. Which I bet you're wondering, how does this become the chest and these become his limbs? That kind of just swaps, which you'll see in a second, but it's pretty cool. The original Blodregon had these fin pieces for the teeth, but then I realized these feet pieces actually look a lot more like monstrous teeth, which is pretty good, but it's best not to think too hard about that. I really like how flush everything is in the fish body. It does look very rough, but considering all the parts, I think it looks pretty uniform in my opinion. And this back part is can get turned a little easy, which is a bit annoying, but it does look sturdy enough, so I think that's fine. Now, the old Blodregon could fit entire other Bionicle Transformers in his mouth, which this one is a tiny bit smaller, but it still can. I had a lot of fun with that in the combiner video, so that's pretty good. And you just got a size comparison between Synthwave and a minifigure. And imagine being as small as a minifigure and seeing this. So overall, I am very happy with the fish mode, and I think it's really good. So anyway, it's time to transform. How'd that get in there? Anyway, it's time to transform. And here is Blodregon in his robot mode, which, I'll be honest, I'm not as happy with the robot mode than the fish mode, but the robot mode still has a lot of really good stuff. So, as I said, the fish... oh, darn it! This is slightly easier to stand up than the old Blodregon, but not by much. The fish mode head kind of looked like a rib cage, so I kind of went for that. So I kind of went for a skeletal appearance with the robot mode, making the arms and legs very thin and long. But honestly, that kind of just made him look morbidly obese. Even though he does look the way he is, I still think he looks incredibly cool. Uh, I use the Hero Factory monster head for the head, making him even more like a monster. And the back, in my opinion, looks pretty decent. I got this back piece right here to cover that up. This piece really was only for the fish mode, but I think it sticks in place very nicely here. And there is a weird bit of kibble here, but in my opinion, I think it's not too big a deal. And there is kind of a gap where you can just easily stick your finger in here. But I was going for a skeleton, so I suppose that does make sense. Here's a size comparison between a minifigure, pretty huge, and Synthwave. Man, seeing these guys side by side, I never knew you could make something so skeletal yet so chunky at the same time. It's kind of jarring to me. But yeah, you can kind of see the size and power of Blodregon standing right next to one of these guys. And Blodregon could definitely take on Synthwave in a fight. Now let's see if I can get any poses out of this guy. So the robot mode poses are a bit limited in my opinion. And while posing him, he definitely looks a lot more like the bulkhead of the Decepticons rather than their ravenous, uncontrollable monster. But I think he still looks pretty intimidating anyway. And for some reason, he is incredibly easy to sit down and looks 10 times better while doing so. Maybe because it hides the legs that are just kind of attached back here. But hey, let me know if you want to see the old Blodregon, because I still have the footage for it and I can make a whole video out of it. And it is a bit bigger than this one, so let me know if you want to see that. But for now, I am happy with having this new and improved Blodregon. And I don't know, maybe we'll make a third version at some point, but I think this guy is good enough for now. But anyway, I hope you had a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.